you're going to hear about my parties. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time.
Clayton Howard sat in a car, identified himself by name on camera, confirmed he was actively suing both Diddy and Cassie Ventura, and then spent 9 minutes threatening her, attacking her attorney, and victim-blaming a trafficking survivor.
And we have more breaking news. Opening statements are underway in the Sean Diddy Combs trafficking trial. Prosecutors claim Combs ran a criminal enterprise with his trusted inner circle and committed crime after crime for 20 years.
All on Twitter, all while his lawsuit was still pending, before a judge who would eventually be shown the footage. Cassie's legal team filed it with the court before Clayton had any opportunity to walk it back.
This is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do want to warn our viewers, as you did. But as you said, Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed in November of 2023 and then was quickly settled overnight.
And that single filing effectively ended whatever threat his case ever represented. The video's content removes any ambiguity about what Clayton intended, threatening to burn Cassie out with fire, calling Douglas Wigdor, the attorney who helped dismantle Diddy's public and legal standing, a scumbag racist without producing one piece of supporting evidence.
He said that Sean Combs directed everything from what she had on to the lighting in the room to how she was supposed to interact with the person that she was having sex with. And again, just to reiterate what is a freak off, the freak off essentially was something that Cassie said she learned about through Sean Combs about a year into their relationship. He described it as voyeurism, wanting to watch her have sex with someone else. And she said that she did it because she was 22, 21, she was young, she didn't know any better, and that she wanted to please Sean Combs.
And questioning whether Cassie was actually trafficked by Combs, which functions as victim blaming regardless of how Clayton framed it internally. None of that was done anonymously. Clayton stated his name, acknowledged the lawsuit, and explained his anger traced back to Cassie filing a motion to dismiss his case against her.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you gotta do that. I was f***ed up. I hit rock bottom.
Which meant he essentially narrated his own motive for threatening her while creating documented evidence of the threat simultaneously. The video spread to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads within hours, and Complex alongside Hollywood Unlocked covered it before any deletion attempt could have mattered, because screenshots and archives existed the moment journalists started writing about it.
She walked in there, Rachel, she had on a brown dress, form-fitting, visibly pregnant, head held high, and did not make any eye contact with the defendant, with Sean Combs.
Cassie's legal team filed court documents bringing the footage directly to the judge's attention, and that filing operates the way effective legal work always operates, without emotion, without escalation, without giving Clayton anything to respond to on equal footing. The documents lay out that Clayton made explicit threats of violence.
Is she ready?
Very ready. I'm confident. Thank you.
Used degrading language toward Cassie, challenged whether she was genuinely trafficked, and distributed that content across every major social media platform where it generated press coverage almost immediately. What the filing requested was a protective order, meaning a formal court restriction on Clayton making these kinds of public statements about Cassie and Wigdor while litigation remains active.
Diddy's ex wrapped up her testimony today after 4 grueling days on the stand. That's Cassie Ventura, who's 9 months pregnant, leaving her home and heading to federal court today.
Courts carry full authority to issue exactly that, and Clayton handed the judge every reason to do so without leaving any reasonable path to denial. The protective order is coming, and when it arrives, it becomes an official court finding, language that attaches to Clayton's name in every subsequent proceeding, and every background review that follows. The bar exam situation is where Clayton's damage extends past the lawsuit itself and into the rest of his professional life.
It is day 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial. Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
Clayton has stated publicly that he wants to practice law and is currently working toward passing the bar. And the California State Bar's character and fitness evaluation covers exactly the conduct now documented in this court filing. Evaluators examine whether applicants respect opposing parties, whether they respect the judicial process, and whether their judgment under pressure reflects the kind of judgment a licensed attorney should carry into a courtroom. If Clayton were already licensed, the video would constitute violations of multiple professional conduct rules.
One knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected.
Publicly threatening a party in active litigation and attacking opposing counsel with baseless accusations are not gray areas. Bar examiners reviewing his application will find a court filing documenting the threats, news coverage that cannot be unpublished.
It's day one of the celebrity trial gripping much of the nation. Sean Diddy Combs, once one of entertainment's most powerful moguls, accused of crimes so heinous, he faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars.
And a social media record that journalists archived before any deletion was possible. That's the character and fitness portion of his bar application, and none of it reads in his favor. Cassie was reportedly out of the country when the video surfaced, and her response came entirely through her legal team rather than through any public statement or social media engagement. Douglas Wigdor recognized immediately what Clayton had produced and moved before Clayton could attempt to reframe it as something less damaging than what it plainly was.
I love entertaining people. I love watching people have a good time. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the concerts when everybody has a camera up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, that's all of them now.
At my concerts, you dance all night. You can't even get to your phone. You so much in the...
There's so much love going on. Right? You all figured out. You really do. You got a key to the city. You're licking toads.
Yeah.
I mean, and apparently you survived it. Did you have to use the ambulance or was just there?
The strategy compressed into 4 steps. Clayton makes the video, Wigdor files it with the court, the judge watches it, and Clayton's credibility as a litigant collapses before his case reaches any ruling on its actual claims. Whatever legitimate arguments his lawsuit might have contained are now operating inside a framework where the judge has already formed a view of Clayton based on documented threatening conduct, and no legal argument reverses that impression once it exists. The theory connecting Combs to Clayton's lawsuit runs through the target and the timing. Clayton filed against both Diddy and Cassie simultaneously, at the moment when Combs needed any available mechanism to create pressure on the person whose allegations and whose cooperation with Wigdor produced serious damage to his legal position and public image. Combs cannot pursue Cassie directly. His own exposure makes any aggressive move toward her read immediately as retaliation. A third party carrying a lawsuit against her, arriving during the period of maximum pressure on Combs's case, functions as a way to drain her legal resources and generate negative coverage without Combs's name appearing on the filing. Nothing has been legally established connecting Combs to Clayton's financing or strategy, and that connection remains a theory rather than a proven fact. What can be observed is that the lawsuit targets Cassie specifically, that it surfaced during Combs's most legally vulnerable period, and that the person running it just publicly removed any threat the case represented by threatening the plaintiff on social media, while the lawsuit was still active. Cassie's handling of this produced the cleanest possible outcome without a single visible mistake on her side. No response to Clayton's video publicly, no counterstatements, no engagement with his accusations about Wigdor, nothing that could be characterized as escalation, just documentation and a court filing that placed Clayton's own words into the official record where a judge was required to review them. That's what makes the result so complete. The damage to Clayton's case came entirely from Clayton, documented by Cassie's team, and presented to the court by one of the most experienced attorneys working in this space. Losing a lawsuit is something people recover from. Losing bar admission prospects before a legal career begins, generating a permanent record of threatening conduct that courts have documented and journalists have archived, carrying a protective order finding into every future proceeding, that is a different category of consequence, and Clayton built all of it in 9 minutes from the front seat of a car. Cassie understood that the most effective response to someone actively falling apart was to document the fall carefully and hand it to the judge. Clayton thought the video created pressure. What it actually created was the case against him.